Best palate in barbecue.
I was like,
Hands down, best palate in barbecue. Watching him finish a meat is like watching a really disheveled Rembrandt. It really it's messy and shit's all over the place, but the flavor at the end is going to be fantastic.
yeah, and
Fantastic. He gave me one of my best lessons in barbecue ever, and I'll never forget it. And I think that's the best rib I ever had. But I thought that 5 minutes after I ate it. He's like, you got to smack him in the face right now.
wow.
And he's right. He's right. That was one of the best lessons I've ever got.
They gon' have barbecue. They gon' have barbecue. They gon' have barbecue. They gon' have barbecue. Get your barbecue on. Get your barbecue.
Ever notice how the sound of sizzling meat and the smell of smoke can silence the noise of the world? Now that's barbecue therapy. If the fire moves you, like, subscribe, share, and help spread the message because growth, like good barbecue, takes time and patience. Welcome to your therapy session. Welcome to the Barbecue Therapy Podcast. My name is Tavis Bryant, and today's guest is a true heavyweight in the world of competitive barbecue, Mr. Luke Darnell, the fire behind Old Virginia Smoke, with titles like the 2016 World Food BBQ Championship and the 2021 American Royal Chicken Champion, with over 41 GCs and RGCs. And one of the best chicken cooks in KCBS history. Luke is a force. Alongside his wife, Kim, Luke has built not just a winning team, but a brand that fuses world class food with relentless fun. Let's get into the fire with Mr. Luke Darnell. Welcome to the show. I got one rule: make yourself at home. I have no sponsors, so you can speak freely because I ain't getting cut off.
Said, thanks for having me, man. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get on here. We've had some real life stuff, but had the pleasure of having you in my barbecue class this winter, and I've been very excited to do this.
Hey, I enjoyed your class and all the classes I took. Right after that, I took the Chris Schaefer class. His class was good. So all y'all got a good product that y'all offering. So people that's out there being stubborn, they need to go see how it's actually done before they go out there and just waste money trying to be stubborn and stuff like that. I was trying to talk to somebody yesterday that that class is very helpful. And don't worry about the money because you're gonna waste it competing anyway. So go learn from some of the best.
It's one of those things, Tavis, where back in the day when I started back in 2012, 2013, there was barbecue classes, but they were few and far between. And the only way you really learned was going to a contest and keeping your mouth shut and listening. The amount of knowledge that's available to new cooks today is it's exceptional. And it's actually probably like drinking from a fire hose. There's so much out there. And but it offers new people a chance at early success that'll keep them engaged in the hobby. And so I love supporting that. I love being a part of that. And I love seeing the people that I teach do well. That's a big deal for me.
Yeah, you can tell when it's a money grab versus somebody that actually wants to see you succeed because they take the time, remember your name. It makes you feel like you're welcome there. And that's how I felt when I went to your class versus some of the other ones where they just throw the stuff to you and all right, y'all have a good hey, would you like to buy my stuff here? And selling it right after the class, they
I
selling their stuff.
I'm gonna say this, and it's not a brag, nor am I taking credit. Your class was pretty small when you guys came, but the people that took that class, the success that they've had this year, it's been amazing. And I'm not saying that to in any way, shape, or form take credit because at the end of the day, the number one thing is I teach is that you have to cook it.
Hmm.
And I'm going to do a big shout out to Renee. She has worked her butt off and is really just killing it. Noel K killing it. And it brings joy to my heart for that. That is, I think, yes, I charge for classes, but at the same time, I feel like it's a way of giving back and seeing people thrive. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Even when they start kicking my ass, I'm good with it. I'm good with
Definitely. Just and when it comes to me, it expanded my knowledge because I'm gonna take advantage of it when I start cooking. But also, it helps me in this avenue here because it helps me more aware of what I'm talking about and having knowledge of, okay, I've seen it for myself. So I'm not just talking, I've seen it from numerous people that has results. Because every class has been champion. It has boosted what I've done and not have me on here just talking, but I've done the homework and did the classes and I know what I'm talking about. I don't know everything. That's why I bring y'all on, but I know enough to make it through these
Indeed.
conversations.
And that's another important thing that you bring up, though, is you're never done learning, especially with something as great as what we do, competition barbecue. There's 10 million ways to do it.
Mhm.
And I've been learning things. I've been learning a lot this year, man, a ton. So
Definitely. All right, let's rewind. Let's take it back to Morgantown, West Virginia. What was the barbecue scene growing up, and what were the traditions in your family growing up with barbecue, if any?
mostly it started with my dad. All my mom's side of the family would get together every Saturday,
Mhm,
and everybody would bring their own steaks, and my dad would cook the steaks on the grill. He knew how each person liked their steaks, and we did that steak, potatoes, vegetable every Saturday, the whole family. As I started to get into my teenager years, I'd help.
mhm,
And then my dad had a coworker from Tonga. His name was Pat May. He was an amateur boxer. He worked at the power station with my dad.
mhm.
And every year, Pat would fight in the Tough Man contest, which was a amateur boxing tournament. And my dad was his corner man. So after that tournament was over, they would cook a hog in the ground,
Oh, wow.
island style. So we would dig a hole, start a fire, put limestone in the bottom of the hole, get it hot, line it with tree branches, chicken wire on top. Then we'd lower a pig in there, roast potatoes, corn, everything. Cover that with foil, cover that with cardboard, and then bury it and let it go for about 8 to 10 hours.
Wow. Y'all was serious.
Yeah, we would do it every year. And it was our job as kids to walk around with a shovel and make sure there was no smoke coming out of the ground. We didn't know that that was work. We thought it was a game, but it was really just an excuse for our dad to drink beer. And that really started my love of barbecue and in the family. There's not a lot of barbecue. I mean, if you count West Virginia as part of Virginia back in the old days, then sure. You can trace the earliest roots of barbecue to Virginia, Jamestown settlement. There's references in public notices for town hall meetings that involve barbacoa
Oh.
or the way that they learned how to cook meat over an open fire from Native Americans. All these people that say they started barbecue, that's not true. It started in
There you
Virginia.
go. And is there a dramatic difference in the taste when it's cooked in the ground versus being cooked?
It is, man. And I don't know how to explain the flavor. I can taste it sitting here just thinking about it. It's probably what we would consider overly smoky, but it just has this unctuousness that you can't really get any other way than that. We were going to try and do it this fall. My dad passed in February, and we're having a celebration of life in a couple of weeks. But with everything going on, we're not going to be able to do it. But I think next summer we're going to try and dig a hole and cook it old school style and see how that goes.
I mean, that's not a bad idea for a class. Also, people that want to, I got an idea, but you could do like a, I don't want to give it out to somebody to steal it, but you could do like a meat class because I ain't gonna lie, I've never cooked a steak, and I would love to learn how to cook a steak because I never tried it. So I would love to cook a steak, and I love pork chops. I know how to cook a pork chop, but you might have different ways to do that. But you could do like maybe an all meat class where not barbecue stuff, but just different meats and stuff like the pig and all that would be a great class. I would love to go to. I don't know about everybody else, but you can kick it around there and figure it out,
Oh,
just like your
it's
other classes.
already made a note, buddy.
Yeah, I would love to come out there 2 days and just learn how to. do stuff like that. Remember me when you come up with
I got you.
it. I'm
I
the
got
first
you.
one. All right. And do you remember the first time you grilled something by yourself? How did that come out?
Oh gosh. No, I don't. In high school though, I did somebody brought this up the other day. We used to have my grandmother had this remote house outside of Morgantown, and we would have Saturday night barbecues where we'd fire up the grill and make hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff, and just a bunch of high school kids just hanging out. Parents would be there. My parents would be there, but that's really when I started, I guess, grilling in front of people and entertaining. That goes all the way back to high school. Still, my favorite thing to cook ever is a hamburger. I love hamburgers. I struggle with YouTube content, and I think I'm gonna just start making burgers, man. It's because I'm gonna enjoy them, and it's something I like. And I go in spurts with YouTube, and it's not good. But yeah, it's still one of my favorite things to do, and I'm trying to encourage contests to do more Friday night burger contests. I think it'll be fun,
Hmm.
and yeah, just see where it goes.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea for you to just do different hamburgers, different type of hamburgers. Just
Yeah,
based on what I see on YouTube, it's the stuff that doesn't make sense, the stuff that blows up. But
ah, God, can we talk about that for a
go
minute?
for
And
it.
I've talked to so many people, and they're like, "This is what's hot. You need to make this," and I'm like, "I'm not going to cook something just because it's popular at the time, or I don't." And some of that shit I don't want to make.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good. It's just shock value, and I don't want to teach people how to do something like that. I want to teach them real world stuff on how to cook, and it's one of the things that I love about Malcolm Reed's channel. He's not generally trying to do anything nuts. He's just trying to show you how to do it. And I think that's good. I think there needs to be more of that.
Exactly, because this past summer we've seen 80 million ways how to do party ribs, and it's like, I was like, come on.
Ah, when I saw Party Rib, I was like, "What are we doing?" And somebody might hear this and get mad at me because they did a Party Rib video, and I don't. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm never going to make in my life party ribs. Just ain't going to do it.
I just
I got a rack of ribs that I'm going to make today for the Steeler game, and I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take salt and pepper. I'm going to rub it. I'm going to throw it in the Traeger so I don't have to watch it. I'm going to wrap it with butter, and then I'm going to slice them up and eat them because that's the best way to have ribs.
and that's the party.
I should, you know what I should do for my YouTube channel is just make the party rib video, but make it like a parody of a party rib video. Have a disco ball going and shit.
Exactly. That's a good idea. We got too many ideas we're kicking around here.
I'm gonna have an entire notebook full of ideas, Tavis. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's good to kick it off somebody. All right, let's go
Yeah,
to your wife. When did you meet Kim, and was she all in when you started the barbecue stuff?
I met Kim in October of 1999. She and her sister came to Morgantown for a Virginia Tech West Virginia football game, and they came with two other friends, and they lived in Northern Virginia, and they came for the game, and the other two were mostly wanting to just party and hang out at the fraternity house that they were associated with, and I noticed Kim from the beginning, and they were forced to go to the frat house on Friday night, and they called me and said, "Can you come get us? Because we don't want to be here." Sure. So I went and got them, took them out to the bar that I worked at. We danced all night, did shots all night, took them to my parents' tailgate the next day, let them sit in the student section with us, protected them because it was a violent atmosphere. It was the year Michael Vick ran down the sideline at the end of the game. They got down to 25, kicked a field goal, and beat us. And I just remember. And 4 months later, I moved to Northern Virginia. And yeah, it's that's how that went. And I didn't really start cooking barbecue by myself until after we were married,
Mhm.
and we would cook for football Sundays and stuff. And then one day she came home from work, and she's one of my coworkers. husband's has a barbecue team, and they're looking for somebody." I'm like, "Barbecue team? What's a barbecue team?" So I looked it up, and at that point, I only had electric smokers because I didn't want to deal with all the mess, and they're like, "Charcoal or wood only." So I was like, I guess better learn this." So I went and bought a Weber Smoky Mountain. I had to go interview to be on the team. And yeah, the guy was like, what kind of smoker you have?" And I was like, "It's out in the car." I had it in the car. That's like, got it the day of, and took him out there and showed it to him. And he was, "You're on the team." I said, "Why?" He goes, "That's the best smoker we have." We did that for 2 years, and we weren't very good.
What was the team name?
And oh boy, Smoke Dreams. Yeah. But we wouldn't change. We wouldn't. And I get it. The guy that was in charge was set in his ways, Kirk, who I'll forever be grateful to. But he was from Kansas City, made his own rubs and sauces, and that's what he wanted to do, and that's fine. But
Mm.
finally, I remember we were in Hedgesville, West Virginia. It was pouring, and we were loading up 3 cars full of shit, and we finished bottom third of the field again, and Tuffy Stone won that contest. And I remember he was like, "Next year," and I said, "There isn't the next year. Like, I'm done. We keep doing this. We're not doing well. I'm not built that way. I can't keep losing. If we're not going to change, then I'm not going to do it." Came back home, and Kim and my friend Leanne pulled me aside, and they're like, "Look, we want you to do this on your own, and we want to be on the team." So that's how Old Virginia Smoke got their start.
Okay. Okay. And you spent 2 decades working for a trade association. I guess you explain what that is and what made you?
Yeah, I've spent, gosh, 22 years working for trade associations, which are basically lobbyist groups in DC. The majority of that was spent with the frozen food industry. And then the last half of my career was spent with the entire grocery industry. And I got to see a lot of the country, got to go a bunch of different places. Great experience. Had a differencing of opinion with my supervisor at the end. And yeah, that was November of 2019. And we decided to start a catering company in January 2020, which is not the best time in the world to start a catering company.
Yeah.
And just like everybody in that March, we lost all of our business for the year in 2 weeks because of COVID. And so we decided to do home meal delivery.
Okay.
And that's what we did. We would deliver meals 5 days a week to people in the neighborhood or that wanted something different. No restaurants were open. So we did contactless delivery and payment. And a lot of people told us we were too dumb to fail, which I agree with. But yeah, so that's how the business side of this got started.
So how did you come up with the name Old Virginia Smoke?
No, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. When before 1863, when West Virginia was a part of Virginia, and that's where barbecue started. I'm originally from West Virginia.
Mhm.
Now live in Virginia. So my brother, who's a genius, we were talking about it one day, and I was like, I want to combine the two states back because they're both a part of me.
Mhm.
And we came up with the name Old Virginia Smoke. So
Okay.
yeah, that's how it started. And we had the cartoon pig logo for a while. Then one day I get this new logo, the one we still use. My brother said, "I hate cartoon pigs. You'll never use a cartoon pig again." Okay. So that's how we got our logo. A lot of he doesn't necessarily, it's not a creative process with my brother. He more tells you what you're going to do. So it's good.
All right. And as far as when you went to catering and stuff like that, did you get a mentor or did you just have to trial and error or?
Oh no, I have so many mentors in the business side of this. Number one being Darren Worth from Smoky D's. He is as good as he is in competition barbecue. He is way better at helping businesses get started, helping people optimize their process, and just gives. he could charge an arm and a leg for his consulting services to as many people as he's helped,
Mhm.
and he doesn't. He gives it because he loves barbecue, and he gives it back, and it truly is like I wouldn't be around if it wasn't for him. The same could be said for Brad. Brad Leininger from Getting Basted also been a huge help in that regard. Chris Schaefer. Chris let me come and spend a day at the restaurant
Oh,
and see what was going. Darren has too. Just great mentors, and they helped me avoid a lot of mistakes that I could have gotten sidelined by.
yeah, and a underrated podcast is Darren Wirt's podcast because he gives a lot of good information on there for folks that food trucks or restaurants and stuff like that.
Oh, it's great. And you got to deal with Randy. But Randy, there's another one. He knows so much about catering and just listen to those guys talk. And Joe Pierce, I'd be remiss if I left off Joe too. Joe showed me his entire operation probably 7 times, and it's just brilliant how those guys operate.
Exactly, and willing to share and help you out, which is excellent. So, when you earlier, I guess you were around. You said you started at 14, and so when you first started, what did you when you started competing? What did you were cooking on at that time? Did you jump out with the jambo, or or did you?
No. Do you want me just to divest the entire history of cookers right now?
Yeah.
Because I can't. Okay. So we started off with an old Bandera pit, side firebox that then came over into a vertical chamber.
Mhm.
This was gifted to us from my old team. We had that in the Smoky Mountain, and we used to cart that. It was big and heavy, no control over the fire whatsoever. We sanded it, sandblasted it, painted it Ford blue, high temperature paint, put fire in it, paint all melted off immediately. Like you watched it happen. We did that for one contest. And then we bought another Smoky Mountain. And part of it was paying attention to what was around. So we had the two Smoky Mountains, and that's what we cooked on for a while. Our first, and but around that time is when Three Eyes was killing it in our area, and so we switched to Backwoods pretty soon after that. We had Backwoods water cookers. Did really well on those for a few years. We spent a year on Humphreys smokers as well, and then we were blessed enough the year that we won Chicken Team of the Year in 2017. We got to go to King of the Smokers out in California, and we had the Backwoods. And at 2:30 in the morning, I was the only one outside cooking. 25 best teams in the country, and I was the only one in the parking lot. Everybody else come out at 6 o'clock, lit their jambos or cans, and moved on, and then beat us. And I told Kim, I said, "We're doing something wrong, or there's a different way to do this, and there's a reason that these people are better than us." And so then soon after that, we switched to Jambo. And I was happy enough to learn from Darren. And first time we cooked on it in a contest, he's, "You're parked right next to me. Just do what I do." And that's how I learned to cook on a Jambo. And loved it. Loved cooking on a Jambo. And we did that for 5 years probably. We had the J3, we had the porch model on the trailer, and but always in the back of my mind were these cans.
Mhm.
They were always there, and we made the decision this past winter that's what we were going to cook on. So now we're full can
Oh.
all the way. Yep.
And you were there around the beginning of the can revolution. How did that when you first saw them gateway drums?
Right. 2016, we went to the KCBS banquet, and we took the shake and bake and getting basted class that was in Kansas City. And I remember eating that canned rib for the first time and being like, "Oh my God." In hindsight, that should have been the moment where I switched over. But I was enchanted by and I don't regret it. I was enchanted by the romantic notion of the stick burner and the offset and throwing sticks, and I'm glad I know how to do that. But yeah, we've cooked on everything, man. That is one of my things that I'm happiest about is if you go back through our GCs, we've won on all those pits.
Oh wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Okay. Okay. That's good. And did you have the pop up tent when you first started and stuff like that, or did you?
Oh man, we so much stuff and memories keep popping up now on Facebook about they show our old setup and it's, is there anything you didn't bring? Like just truckloads of stuff. Just now I can fit everything comfortably into my truck for one contest. If we don't take the trailer, it's easy. Man, yeah, we it's still. I'll tell you, Tavis, my favorite way to cook is under a pop up. I love it. I love being out there, being able to talk to everybody walking by. I love as long as it's not pouring rain or stupid hot. I just love being outside and cooking. I think it's fun.
Oh yeah, I got mine sitting right over to the side and ready to go whenever my time. Got the logo on there and everything.
There you go.
All right, and other than Tim and them classes, were there any other classes? Do you regularly take classes back then, or?
My first class ever was from Chris Hart with IQ. Chris won the Jack twice, I think. Written a couple cookbooks, an amazing cook out of Boston. And Mark Gibbs from Checkered Flag 500,
Mhm.
he had a class seat for Chris's class and he couldn't go. And he called me and he's, look, I'll sell you this seat for $200 if you can get up to Boston next weekend. I didn't even know this existed, dude. I was like, okay. So I used airline miles to get a flight up, got a cheap hotel room, and went and took that class. And it blew me away. The little details and stuff that what we weren't doing. And at that point we were still inside of 10 contests, but we were starting to see some success.
Mhm.
And but just man, just the little things. And that next weekend we cooked that program at a contest. And I think we finished 8th, but then we just worked it all winter long, practice every weekend.
Yeah, I think I got a book
And
with him and Andy Husbands. He
yeah,
wrote a book.
yep, it's one of the best barbecue books out there. And two amazing guys. I love it when we get to see them up north. And they still cook occasionally. They're a lot of fun. And still probably the biggest influence in my program. There's still a lot of Chris in my program. And Chris Capel from Dizzy Pig. That was the second class I took. And there's still a lot of Chris in my program too. And a lot of learning. I'll share one if you don't
Go
mind.
ahead. I don't. It's your show.
So Chris bases his flavor profiles on where he cooks based on if you look at a map of the United States at night and identify where your cook site is. If your cook site is within a very heavily lighted area,
Mhm.
you can be more aggressive with your flavors because you got a higher population that has experienced more food, more tastes, and everything. If you're in a dark part,
You
you
better
better
keep her
keep her
simple.
simple.
That's actually genius.
It
Yeah.
yeah, and he called it cooking it with the lights. It was pretty cool. But I try and take one class a year if I can. Still to this day, you can always learn more. And say you spend $600 to go to somebody's class. Seems like a lot of money, like you said earlier. However, if I learn 2 or 3 things from that class that helps me win a category or win a grand championship, it's worth it.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to find new programs and new everything, but that's not true. Like right now, I got the yips with brisket, so I'll throw anything against the wall. But trust me, trust and believe, I've cooked 9 brisket recipes in the past 9 contests.
Wow.
Um, it's and it's stupid because I know better than that. You find those 2 or 3 things. That's all you need.
Exactly. So definitely go out there and take a class, everyone. So working with your wife, how did it when it started? Yeah, it was just y'all. How did that flow into, and how long did it take y'all to get a routine?
Not long at all. You've met Kim. I call her Olivia Catherine Darnell, OCD. She's got to have a list. She's got to have order. She's got to have a regimen. And very early on, she's written down every recipe we've ever cooked. We have packing lists for everything that are the same. And somebody asked me last week what my brisket injection was. I ain't made it. I hadn't made an injection in years, probably 10 years. She makes all the sauces, injections. She makes sure we have everything we need. And we probably have had maybe 3 fights in the trailer over all the time that we've done this. We communicate pretty well. We have a good time. We rely on each other's strengths. Yeah, it's pretty boring. The most exciting thing we do is dance. That's where we live it.
But to me, I think like I was talking to Paul and Lynn and all the people that do the husband and wife duo, it's to me they're the best because that's the person that knows you the best. That's the person that can motivate you the best. That's the person that can cheer you up the best. Go out there and get them next time, or and give you the best opinion that you don't doubt that they have your best interest in mind. So that's why I love to see how you doing it and Paul and Lynn and all the other couples out there that shows that it can be done because most people be trying to get away from their family when they at competition. But y'all showing it can work and it's y'all keep it fun and y'all ain't out there arguing or anything and y'all have a routine because when I was talking to Paula Lynn, she does the same thing as your wife and have everything wrote down. The temperature, the weather, all that, and what the results is that's the person that you know that you can count on.
And we've had switching to drums. We've had a little bit of a sea change, and now Kim gets up when I get up, and she's out there on the porch, and she's staring at those needles,
Wow.
and she's working the drums, and she's keeping them at the right temperature. She is. Tim Shears called her one of the best drum cookers in the world because of the attention to detail that she has, and because she just sits there and she's on it. And I think maybe even I've gotten a little bit too relaxed about not paying attention myself. So I'm gonna been trying to figure it out. But yeah, it's changed things and it's changed things for the better. She's more in tune with the cook now. She hasn't built a box all year. I've made every one of them. And yeah, it's just created more of a team dynamic, which is awesome.
Exactly.
And honestly, I wouldn't do this without her.
Yeah.
Honest to God truth.
That's what I talked to Bill Hines of Triple H, and he said the same thing. If his wife didn't help him, he wouldn't want to do it anymore.
Yep.
So definitely understand that because they're a vital part. And when you win, she wins. It's a team effort. It's not Luke and Kim. It's a team
Right.
effort. So without each other, she only goes as far as you go, and you go only go as far as she goes.
That's right.
I'm advocate for that because I told my wife she, even though she's watching the kids right now, that's a vital part what I do, and she supporting me, telling me, hey, because I was on the fence about doing this podcast, and she was like, "What is it gonna hurt? Just get out there and try it. It's not gonna hurt." And I was like, "Okay." And when I went to Memphis in May, and that's when I met Tim and all that, and I met Harry Sue and all that, and I was like, and Tim asked me to be on the podcast, and I'm sitting here looking at him like, "Hey, you Tim Shear, you asked me to be on my podcast." Because I in 2023, that's when I met Mark Bayless, who is just I can't say enough good things about him. And he was cool and welcomed me and my wife and let us meet Johnny Trigg. And that's how I got my little 2-second cameo on Barbecue USA, the Memphis in May episode. And just because of Mark Bailey, he let me try on his championship ring he got from Memphis in May. And I was like, this dude don't even know me. He welcoming me and my wife and stuff like that. And that's I loved it because it showed her what I was bragging about, how the barbecue community is can't be matched, and nobody can't tell me any different. And it's she's starting to see and know and wanting to go more, and she gonna help me time to time for when I cook. But
Yeah.
it's that person there. You get the right person, there's nothing that you can't do.
Yeah. Mark Bayless is one of my best friends. He hates it when I say that, but I don't care. Uh, we travel a lot together, and he's just a great guy, man. He's so helpful and so close to the barbecue community, and he really does a great job for Blues Hog.
Exactly.
We do a lot of trade shows together and stuff, and we really work well together. And yeah, I can see Mark doing that. He's just a giver.
And when I saw him this year, he was the same way. He drug me over to Tim, drug me over to Jordan Kirkpatrick, and he made me meet the guy. It was Paulie from Bucky's. He let me meet
Oh
him.
yeah,
Also, I want to talk to him. He look like he has an interesting job.
yeah, he does. He's actually texted me this morning. He's at a Do It Best trade show right now, and I just texted him and said I just talked about you on a podcast. So he'll be all worried. I love winding him up.
And like he handed Bucky stickers out. I'm like, that's before I knew who he was. I was like, why you handing
Yeah.
me this sticker? All right. And you competed over 300 contests across 30 states. It might be more now. But what do you believe is the key to longevity, consistency, and the hunger to keep going?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna go back to something that Darren said. I'm at 286 contests, by the way. Just looked it up on barbecuedata.com. And Darren once told me, he said, as long as this continues to be fun, I'm going to continue to do it. And he's 100% right. We've done this now for, I think this is our 12th or 13th year, and it's still fun. And we think about all the friends that we have that we made in the beginning part that aren't in barbecue anymore, but are still friends. And then the new friends that we make along the way. And like last weekend in Idaho, we cooked next to Meat Candy Q, who let us borrow a bunch of stuff. And we had a blast with them. We had a really good time, and we can't wait. We're trying to figure out when we can go out west and cook with them again because we just had a great time.
Mhm.
And that's what this is. It's the people, it's the good time. The awards are fine, winning the recognition, all that great, but it's the people and it's the fun, and it's something that Kim and I do together. And every couple looks for that thing. What can you do together? This is our thing, and I couldn't be happier with it.
Yeah, definitely. Because especially doing it with your wife, you ain't got to rush and get back home because my wife is at home. So I done been out here 6 days, so I gotta get back. But she's there with you, so it ain't no rush to get anywhere because she's already there
Yeah,
with you,
exactly.
which is excellent. And like I said, you said you're meeting other people. It's just I haven't even competed yet, and I met so many people. If you'd have back when COVID, that's when I really got into it because I was stuck in the house by myself before I was married, and all I was doing was watching YouTube, and that's when Discovery Plus came out. So I was able to watch Barbecue Pitmasters because back then I was catching episode here and there back in the day, but I always had an interest in barbecue. But every time I did it, it was just everything tasted like lighter fluid. But and when I got an interest in it, I went to somebody's house because back when I'm growing up in my community, all we had was the little black kettles and stuff like that. So I went to somebody's house and I saw a pellet grill for the first time in 2020. And I'm like, what is this? And then when he got the stimulus check, I was like, I'm gonna go get me a pellet grill. And it was best thing I did because it allowed me to focus more on prepping the meat and not worry about the grill until I learned the meat and stuff like that. And then I could focus on working different grills because I have the meat down packed. So a lot of people poo poo the pellet grills, but I'm an advocate of it.
Let me tell you, buddy, it's th- these people who are purists and oh, you're using a pillow grip. Come on, If you're using wood and you're cooking outside, who cares? And like I said, there's a million different ways to do this and be successful. Just this morning, let's see. Yeah, my one cousin Aaron, this is going to get real personal, but I'm going to tell anyway. My dad had my first Traeger, my Traeger 34 Pro, and my cousin Aaron and my cousin Herman's son, they went out and got the Traeger from my dad's house, and Herman's going to cook on it today. Never made a piece of barbecue in his life. I've been on FaceTime with him all morning, telling him what to buy at Walmart, how to clean that thing out, how to load it, and he's going to make ribs today. And his excitement to do it, and my excitement to tell him how to do it, and hope that it comes out. But he wouldn't be cooking if he had to go get charcoal and light it and whatever. He gets to turn on a switch, and that's fine. As long as you're cooking outside, it doesn't matter.
Definitely. And it helps boost people confidence and bring them more into barbecue because it's easier and they won't get frustrated and walk off. Because I gave up numerous times because every time I tasted it, I was like, lighter fluid. And now I know that I didn't need to use lighter fluid all this time.
Never,
I didn't know
never.
about chimneys and all this other stuff. And just being locked in the house, YouTube taught me a whole lot and stuff. And then I didn't know about competitions until I just researching more and stuff like that. And I didn't know I was able to go walk around competitions and see the stuff like that. I had sketched this logo behind my head with the three animals. I sketched that a long time ago and just put it to the side. And my wife just happened to find it. And what are you doing with this? I was like, I drew it. I wanted to compete, but I don't know anything about it. So that's when she
Now you do.
exactly. So I thank all y'all that made videos and all that time where I was stuck in the house and paved the way. And that's why I know so much and know people be surprised that I know them because I do my homework. I don't try to get out there and not know what I'm talking about. It surprises many people where I come up and oh, you so and so, and you so and so, and you so and so, and that's what kind of opens the door to making connections, having an interest in what you're doing. If you just playing it by ear, you're not. That's why I tell people: do your homework, and the opportunity will present itself, and you'll go from there. But just meeting people, I've met so many people that ain't no way you would have told me back then that I would have be sitting here talking to you or talking to Tim or talking to Chris or talking to Harry Sue or Christy Vanover or anything like that. I'd be like, you crazy. But it's just taking that first step to go to class outside of Georgia. People are like, "Man, you going what? Just for yeah, I love barbecue that much. I'll go to Virginia. I go to
Absolutely.
Missouri. I go to Illinois. Is that I'm going to the American Royal just to walk around because I love it that much. I love the people because they showed me love, and I'm going to support the people that support me. And I know I went on a rant there, but
Oh no, you're good, man.
but
That's the only way to get involved is to get out there and be in it.
and just sitting back, just watching around the corner, you're not getting nowhere. You never know who gonna say, "Hey, come on!" I didn't got invited into numerous trucks and just to watch and all that, just by just people like you when I took your class and people that I haven't taken the class. That hey, you're in the area, just stop by and you can come watch. And that means a lot to me. And I know my wife. I know I talk about barbecue so much, and people used to think I'm crazy, and still think I talk about barbecue so much. But I say y'all understand. They might not understand, but they know. Y'all know what goes on because y'all experience it. And I love to. Can't wait till I get to experience some of the stuff that y'all get to do. So I look forward to that. Let's get back to the podcast. All right, by 2014, 15, that's when your chicken game locked in. Was there a specific turning point where I guess you cooking chicken really kicked in gear? Because you might be one of the best out there when it comes to chicken.
Valentine's Day 2016, 2015. Warren County Pork Choppers, Donnie Bray had a class down in Tennessee. It was on Valentine's Day. I went with Rock Moomaw, who had a barbecue team from Virginia,
Mm.
and we both went without our wives, so we had Valentine's Day breakfast at a Waffle House, and chicken was my worst meat.
Mhm.
And I remember Donnie cooked on backwoods, and he showed us his process, and I bit that chicken on that Sunday, and I went and gave him a hug and picked him up off the ground and said, "Thank you." He still to this day says that's the only time anyone's ever hugged me at a barbecue contest and picked me up off the ground. I didn't like it. I said, "That's fair." But then that's when we won. That's when we went on it and won Chicken Team of the Year. And man, it was life changing just the way he thought about it and the way he did it. And now, since then, we've gone through several different iterations and different types of cookers. But yeah, chicken game remains strong. And
Definitely. Because when I
yeah,
tried
it's
yours, I wanted to pick you up myself, but I couldn't. I know I because hands down to this day, that's the best piece of chicken I've ever.
it's really good, man, and it's consistent and it's not complex
Yeah.
and there's no scraping and people act like I'm giving away the world right now. You can go if you can't find that recipe online, then you ain't trying hard enough because it's out there. But yeah, I mean that was the turning point, and yeah, ever since I've just been like, yep, it's gonna roll.
So in 2016, how did you get involved with the World Food Championship?
Gosh, yeah, we just won. We went back then. It had over 130 teams
Ooh.
from all over the world. The team that was across from us that year was from South Africa. The Bry brothers, they were amazing. My gosh, could those guys get it done? That's where I met Brad Orson from the shed. Such a great conversation. I won't repeat that one, but it was pretty amazing. And we weren't planning on the level of team that was there. We weren't planning on making the top 10 and having to cook the barbecue final. We had plans to go the next morning. We were going to get up at 4, drive to New Orleans for beignets, come back, stop at the shed, and then come back and go home. But we finished 7th in the KCBS contest. And it was like, okay, what are we going to do tomorrow? And I remember Mötley Crüe was there and they'd finished outside the top 10 and they had asked me, they said, hey, we have some Wagyu tri tip. Do you want that for the final tomorrow? And yeah, we got that from them. Then I had to go Google what is a tri tip. I'd never, that's a California thing. We didn't know what it was. So we spent the whole night back at the hotel researching what we're going to do with this thing. We called Danielle from BBQ and got her help and her knowledge. And we had to all cook on the same thing. We all had a deep south smoker. And one of the things that you have to do to tri tip is I smoked it and then I seared it. Searing it in a deep south it's a gravity feed. So we concocted a method of putting a cast iron pan down on the heat tube.
Mhm.
I was in the cooker all the way, like my whole torso, and they're searing this thing off. And yeah, we cooked it perfectly. Very nice. Gosh, it was barely medium rare, but that's how you have to do it. And we made our lobster bacon mac and cheese, which I thought the girls messed up. They had to leave before awards, and that this guy took them to the airport. And before they got in the car, I'm like, y'all messed up. Just FYI, we're not going to do it because you guys screwed up the mac and cheese. So I went to awards. I sat by myself because I was sad because we weren't going to do well, and I drank a bunch of Jack Daniels. Went to awards, sunglasses on because I'm just going to stand up there and root for my friends. And all of a sudden, they call us World Food Championship Barbecue Champion. Came from 7th place to 1st. And then I had to cook against 9 chefs. That was something. These guys all had these teams of people and flying in ingredients from all over the world. And I'll never forget the guy from Hawaii, the seafood chef, James Aptekin. He's chef. I'm bringing in this cheese. It has to say 39. Costs like $2,000. I'm like, she's like, "What are you cooking?" I was like, "I went to Walmart, bought a bunch of $10 racks of Smithfield ribs." And that's really where I met Darren, and because he was there to support his friend Carrie Luke, she ended up winning the whole thing that year in steak. And yeah, just being in that environment was a lot of fun. That was a big game changer.
Expensive cheese.
Yeah.
All right. In 2021, you took home the chicken. You took chicken at the American Royal. How was that moment to be on stage for that?
Best barbecue moment we've ever had. Being on that stage with all your peers out there, getting to hold that square trophy. That was bucket list. I mean, that thing sits in our living room right front and center. Always will. And just it was just a great experience getting to do that. And that's the goal, is to get back there and do it again. And yeah, I got goosebumps thinking about it.
Even compared to the Jack last year?
Yeah, we were second last year in chicken at the Jack, which it was still great. Listen, getting up to go on that stage also was a bucket list item. We didn't hear our name the first time we went. And so to get up there and do that, we were one appearance point from a 180. That's the thing that hurts the most, because I can promise you that was not an 8. We don't turn in 8s, man. It may taste like shit, but it's going to look pretty. Those points are free. Um, but yeah, that, especially with the 2 different types of meat you have to turn at the Jack, that was a big deal. I still would love to get that first place chicken at the Jack too. That'd be special.
Yeah, I was watching it because LC Barbecue was playing it live on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, Luke came in second."
Yep.
I was like, "Okay." And over the years, you built relationships with folks like Tim Shear, Brad, Joe, Chris. How do those connections come about, and what roles do they play in your growth of being a pit master?
Oh gosh. Just being in the same events, in the same circles, and spending time and getting to know those guys. They're all great friends and mentors, and we teach each other, and it's great learning, but it's also great camaraderie. And the barbecue league, when it first started out, had a lot to do with that.
Mm.
And being the only one of the only East Coast teams that were involved when traveling around and cooking different places and being filmed, they get to spend some time with some people, and that's I wouldn't trade those relationships for anything, man. Those guys are super helpful, super generous, just amazing. And yeah, we all talk on a daily basis now. And I've already sent Brad a text while we're doing this, telling him that he needs to do
Exactly.
it.
I call y'all the Rat Pack, like Frank Sinatra and them. Your little group.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's not an intimidating group of people once you're around them. Everyone's pretty open, everyone's pretty nice, and that's what the best part about it is.
Yeah, yeah. Everything was meeting you and meeting Joe and meeting Chris Schaefer and meeting Tim. Because most folks would think with all the stuff Tim is into, that he would be like, but Tim is just relaxed and laid back and just cool. I'm like, wow, because the amount of stuff people don't know he's involved in. It's like mofo would be freaking out, pulling their hair out, and he just every time you
Oh,
see him, he just relaxed.
high speed, low drag, that's Timmy.
Exactly.
All go, no stop. Let's get it.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's wrong, it'll fix itself.
And Travis Clark told me the most amazing story about Tim. Talking about he came, he didn't have his finisher powder. He came in my truck and just started grabbing a bunch of seasoning and just started dumping stuff in and just grinding and just let me add some more of this. Let me add some more of this. Okay, now it's right. And just left out the truck. I was like, what?
Best palate in barbecue.
I was like,
Hands down, best palate in barbecue. Watching him finish a meat is like watching a really disheveled Rembrandt. It really It's messy and shit's all over the place, but the flavor at the end is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, and
Fantastic. He gave me one of my best lessons in barbecue ever, and I'll never forget it. And he that's the best rib I ever had. But I thought that 5 minutes after I ate it. He's like, "You gotta smack him in the face right now."
wow.
And he's right. He's right. That was one of the best lessons I've ever got.
Yeah, that makes sense also. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. And when it come to him, they think about all the other stuff that he do, but 2017, he was a monster out there. If it wasn't for Travis Clark, but he was a monster out there, and folks don't realize that because based on the other stuff that he's involved in, and he not cooking as he was, but that nigga's a
Oh,
monster out there.
he's still anytime he goes and cooks, he's a threat to win that contest. Cooking 3 times a year. Doesn't matter. He can still do that
Yeah,
at that level. And yeah, in terms of finishers, there's no question who the best is in the game. That's not even up for debate.
yeah, definitely. And next question is about your nickname, the Mayor of Barbecue. What does that say about your leadership and your approach to community on the circuit?
I try, man. I try to make sure everybody has a good time, and I try to be as supportive as I can be of organizers. And just this year, there's a lot of things that this is all a symbiotic system. We all have to work together.
Mhm.
And we decided this year that no matter what an organizer asks us to do, we're going to do it. Whether it's an ancillary or people's choice or whatever, we got to start being all in. We got to start putting out, or these events are going to go away. Last week, we're in Idaho at the Meat and Tater, which I've been calling the Anella because she ran that contest out there in Boise, and it was fantastic. But we flew, we borrowed, we pulled a Brad. We didn't have anything, but they had a potato ancillary, and we did it and finished eighth. If I had 4 more minutes, I think we would have finished first. I just needed more time. I didn't have enough time. I should have started it earlier, and I didn't. But I did some learning on it. So now the next time that I have to do that, I know what I can do ahead of time and be ready. They needed entries because that's how these things grow.
Mhm.
You have to support the local stuff. You got to do dessert. You got to do, they got a mystery meat, do that. We have to, or these people, why should we do this contest if the teams aren't going to engage? They just want to come in, cook, and leave. And we have to start giving back and making their event what they want it to be, or else they're going to go away.
Exactly, as well as
Yeah.
community. I went to Pigs and Peaches in Kennesaw, Georgia. And
Uh-huh.
no lie, they had the cooks in one area and the festival probably like maybe half a mile down the road. And I was like,
Oh wow.
what is this? I was like, this you supposed to be promoting this and you got them separate from everybody else. They don't get to see the purpose of the festival, which is the barbecue competition. And we had to walk way down the road to get to the festival where you got the cooks off to the side and the crowd don't get to see them and stuff like that. And I was like, this is disappointing.
But we have to be accessible. That's the number one thing. You have to be accessible to the public. You have to be accessible to the other teams.
Mm.
Being accessible to judges. There's this notion out there that judges and cooks are at odds with each other. Man, I love judges. Come to my tent, say hi. Come by afterwards, try food. Come cook with us. I love a judge in the tent. We're trying to find some judges to be in the tent here the next few weeks as we get ready for the Jack. So that's what we're trying to be about. Does it work all the time? No. But that's what I guess being part of the mayor of Barbecue Town is like, trying to bring everybody together and just trying to have a good time.
Yeah, but that's what I love about you. You get out there and you speak to people regardless of big time person or as a small somebody just starting, and you take time to be personable. And even what meant to me important to me is 98% of the people say my name wrong and continue to say it wrong. I don't know where the R comes in there, but it just, and that meant a lot to me that you just said Tavis, because I'm like, most people just gloss over it and Travis. And I'm like, I done had majority of people on the podcast calling it wrong.
I take great pride in saying people's names right. I think at a bare minimum, that's now I also am terrible at names in terms of remembering. So I use a lot of dudes and buddy and pal, but generally I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just making people feel welcome, I think is one of the biggest things.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, you do a podcast also. What inspired
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
start your podcast, and what was your goal when you started it?
So that was a COVID project for me. And the inspiration really comes from a podcaster and author named Tim Ferriss. He does the Tim Ferriss Show,
Mhm.
and he's an angel investor slash experimenter. He experiments on his own body with all kinds of crap, like he's just really into self improvement, not only on a mental level but also a physical level. And it's something that I got into a long time ago. He wrote the 4 Hour Body, the 4 Hour Chef, the 4 Hour Work Week.
Mhm.
It's not really 4 hour things. It's just ways to be more efficient and to spend your time on the right things. And one of the things he has a podcast, and one of the things that he does is he interviews people who are the best in their field to find out what makes them tick, find out what their habits, routines, and rituals are, the things that make them successful. And I wanted to do that with the world's best pit masters. And that's where created a lot of my questions from, and a lot of my interviewing style from, is from Tim. And but I also wanted to catalog a lot of our barbecue pitmaster stories.
Mhm.
I think the history of our hobby is very important, and uh, having Johnny Trigg answer the questions that I ask, I think is an important thing in terms of having a record
Mhm.
of the things that he thought was important to him while he was cooking. And I can say that about pretty much all of my guests. Even I've interviewed a couple of backyard guys over the years just to get their perspective on things. And it's just very important to me to have those stories and to have those things, and so that there's a record of it.
Mhm.
But also, I can tell you I've learned more from my own podcast than most people could ever say. Just I I keep coming back to Boise, but Bobby Stanfield and Moni cooked BS Barbecue Outlaws. They cooked in Boise last weekend. They quit cooking a while ago. They still have all their stuff, so they've cooked a couple contests this year. But just seeing him and seeing them and enjoying them, but one of my favorite interviews of all time was Bobby. And Bobby, one of the things that he does is he takes his knife hone
Mhm.
and he hits that knife 21 times
Wow.
every knife. Not 22, not 20, 21. Ever since that podcast, I have done that every time, 21 times. It doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't, I'm not sure it affects the sharpness of the knife, but it's just something that's stuck with me. And it gives me another routine or ritual or something, but I know that my knives have been honed and that they're sharp and they're ready to go. There's lots of little things like that. My dear friend Urkel, Sheila, who we lost this year from Uncle Pigs,
Mhm.
one of the things that he used to do, and nobody knew it. And I know it's probably only been shared on one or two podcasts, and probably by my wife after since his tragic car accident. But Urkel would take a handful of salt
Mhm.
as soon as he was parked, and he'd walk around the trailer and sprinkle a salt ring around his trailer. And one time Kim asked him what he was doing, and he said, "Always trying to get you. This keeps the evil spirits out." And we haven't done it in a long time, but Kim did it. And even if it's just a way to remember Urkel, we'll continue to do that. It's those little things,
Yeah,
those
definitely.
little things that make people and make barbecue special. That's cool.
Yeah. And now you got a record, so everybody that you talk to, you can go play and listen to them, and even just to catch up. 2 days a week I work from home, and that's when I caught the episode where you were talking to the two guys about a barbecue class, and I was like, everybody need to be listening to this.
Listen, man, that episode is with Brian Corbett and David Moore from Hot Mess, Brian Corbett from Smoking Scullies. That podcast is the most important podcast I've ever done. I think. I think it is. And there's so much good knowledge in there about how to take a barbecue class, how not to take a barbecue class, what are the mistakes, what are the things, and those two are two of the best that I know at taking them, along with myself. I consider that one of my superpowers. Because you got to know what you're looking for and you got to know what works inside of your shit.
Mhm.
You can't just go, and I'm making that mistake right now with brisket. I'm going and looking at a class that says, oh, maybe I'll try this. It's stupid. I know how to cook a brisket. I got the most calls in category I have the most calls in is brisket. What am I doing? Just cook the damn thing. That's what Brad keeps telling me. Just cook it. What's the problem? But yeah, I'm shocked that thing doesn't have 1,000 listens. I don't think there's a real metric out there to track your listens because I know that I've had hundreds of people tell me they've listened to that one. But anyway, doesn't matter. That's a whole different subject. But
Exactly, but
I don't do this for that crap.
okay, exactly. But for those that are listening now, definitely check out the episode because I
It's
was
called,
like,
yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
called Pitmaster, an old Virginia Smoke podcast. You can find it anywhere. And yeah, it's how to take a barbecue class. And I think it's so important. Such an important episode.
Yeah, it was very good. I tell you, I had to mention it. I was like, "Oh, this is a good episode." I'm like, you know how many people ain't listening?
Right.
But balancing competition, logistics, creative development, family life with Kim. How do y'all keep everything moving during peak season without losing the fun or the spark?
That's all part of it is being prepared. And sometimes, life gets in the way. Sometimes you get less rigid. And I keep going back to Donnie Bray from Warren County Pork Choppers. One of his key messages was, you might be a really good cook, but you're not going to beat me during the week because nobody's going to work harder than me. And he's right. I'll buy 30 pieces of chicken to get 9, get 10. If I don't have 10, I'm going back to the store
Hmm.
to get more chicken because you can't, you have to have full confidence in the things that you've brought. And you have to have full confidence in the way that those are all things you control. You can't control what goes on in that tent, but you damn sure can control everything up until that point.
Exactly. And I put a quote that you said at the top of the paper: "Never give up on a piece of meat. There's always stuff you can do to make it better."
That's another Tim Shear. That's a Tim Shear.
I was like, "That's a good
That's
one."
the importance of having a gateway drum in your setup. A half hour on a gateway is an eternity. You got something that's not done. It's such an important tool, man. It really is such an important tool. And yeah, it's never give up. Never give up. You've got time. But at the same time, I've never made Kim run a box. Never put her up against it. It's you have it done, you're ready to go, you have your process, get it done. Everybody stop missing turns. Quit. Don't put people in that position. No need.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying about Tim. He's without him in the barbecue community, and he's established so much stuff in there. Without him, it'd be a huge void. Because when he came out with the drum, it just changed the whole stratosphere of barbecue. And I like people don't like. I called him on the episode. I called him the Steph Curry of barbecue because when he
Uh,
came up with that drum, it just changed everything and made stuff easier and like people was able to go to sleep. And I told him people probably thought he was crazy and at that time, but he just changed the whole scope of everything. And I told him the intakes and all that. I was like, how did you? It was like it's weird because I was talking to Paul Keltner of Rooters and Tutors. He said he was using a drum back way back when, but it didn't look nowhere like what Tim had. Like,
I go back to King of the Smokers. All those guys coming out and lighting their pits at 6 in the morning.
Hmm.
The real secret of their success is sleep. So I've been up since 2 in the morning, sitting in a parking lot. Who's going to be better at turn-in times? Them or me? Them every time because they got a full night's sleep.
Exactly.
Sleep is a superpower. Sometimes it's not that complex. Sometimes it's easy. That's why we have the rules that we have. I don't have to go to bed at 9, but I better be in bed. I can read, watch a movie, whatever, but you ain't gonna be out dicking around. You need to be in the sack, get some rest.
What advice would you give someone starting their first competition?
Oh man. Number 1, practice. Number 2, have a routine. And number 3, when you get to that contest, you stick to that routine. No matter what, you're gonna see a bunch of different things. Don't get caught watching. Oh, that guy did this. I need to do that. No, you don't. Do your stuff. See how your stuff does and then act accordingly afterwards. That's the number 1 rule. Is have a plan, stick to your plan, cook it till it's done. Be confident in your information and move forward.
Exactly.
It's the only way to go.
Make sure you take that class. All right, and we've been going a while, so I'm gonna get into I got a couple games I'm gonna run through with you and get you out of here.
Okay.
All right, college basketball, they got the tournament bracket. So I came up with a tournament bracket of barbecue meats, and you just tell me which one you prefer to eat. Matchup number 1, pork belly versus smoked turkey.
Ooh, pork belly.
Okay. Next matchup is lamb versus pork ribs.
Oh, pork ribs.
All right.
God, that's hard. That's harder than you think.
Smoked ham versus sausage.
Oh, sausage all day.
All right. Hamburger versus steak.
Burger.
Okay. Burnt ends versus beef ribs.
Not fair. Beef rib.
All right. Pork chop versus smoked bologna.
Pork chop.
All right. Hot dog versus barbecue shrimp.
Hot dog. That's easy.
Okay. Brisket versus smoked chicken.
Brisket all day.
All right. Next round, pork belly versus pork ribs.
Pork belly.
All right. Getting harder. Sausage versus hamburger.
Oh man, come on. Hamburger.
All right. Beef rib versus pork chop.
Beef rib.
Okay. And hot dog versus brisket.
Brisket.
All right.
Now
Final,
you're gonna make me do.
final 4. Pork belly versus hamburger.
Burger.
Okay. And beef rib versus brisket.
Damn it, Pingus. I'm gonna go beef rib.
Okay.
And it's only because I eat brisket all the time. And I don't eat enough beef ribs in the world because they truly are one of the best things. Like, you even mentioning it is making me go to Restaurant Depot this week and buy me a big rack, full platers, and probably film it.
I literally got an LLC just to go to Restaurant Depot, just to get a car.
Yeah. You just messed me up. Now I gotta go this week and get rid.
All right, beef ribs versus burger in the finals.
Oh man, that's where we ended up. I'm not picking a winner. I love both those things. I have to go with burger. If I had to eat one food the rest of my life, it'd be burger. I love hamburger.
All right, hamburger the winner. All right, I made these other guys especially for you. I did my homework. All right,
Okay.
it's rapid fire questions.
Oh no.
All right, which trilogy is your favorite? Original, prequel, or sequel? And those don't know, he's a big Star Wars fan.
I am. Oh, it's got to be the original. Now, fun fact: my real name is Lucas, but I go by Luke. But and I'm still puzzled as to why my parents didn't name me Luke right off the gate, because I was named after a Luke, but it was not Luke Skywalker. It It was from Luke and Laura from General Hospital. And it was not my mother's idea, it was my dad's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, original.
Oh,
But all of them have their merits. Even the first one with Jar Jar Binks. It's still a great watch.
all right. Jedi or Sith? All right.
Jedi, but I would have the purple lightsaber because that kind of means you have some dark tendencies.
That was my next question. Favorite lightsaber color?
I'm going to go with either the purple or the gold.
All right.
And the gold you only see in The Acolyte or at the end of The Last Jedi when Rey had a yellow lightsaber.
All right. Millennium Falcon or X-Wing?
Falcon all day.
Best villain, Darth Vader, Darth Maul.
You have to say Vader because, the entire thing is based on Darth Vader. But Darth Maul back in the day was still, Darth Maul is amazing. What a great character.
All right. R2D2 or BB-8?
R2D2, not even close.
Favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire Strikes Back is the perfect movie.
All right. And who's scarier, Emperor Palpatine or Jabba the Hutt?
Ooh. Man, I'm going to go Palpatine just because Jabba could throw a party, man.
Which bounty hunter is the best?
Oh, man. That's tough. Because everyone wants to say Boba Fett. But he's probably not my favorite. My favorite is probably Bosk, the lizard looking guy that was on you only see him the one time on the bridge of the Star Destroyer in Empire whenever he's sending out all the bounty hunters to go look for Han Solo. And Bosk is just terrifying. You're just like, God. Ugh. Yeah, like, I'm not interested in that.
All right. Which Star Wars ship would you want to fly?
Oh, the Falcon. All day.
All right. Would you rather be trained by Yoda or Obi-Wan?
Yoda.
All right.
Teach you the barbecue, I will.
Most underrated Star Wars character?
Ooh. Wedge Antilles.
Okay.
Wedge was Luke's friend. The story was not explored enough in the movies, but Wedge was Luke's best friend on Tatooine who went to the Empire early, but also featured in a lot of the movies. Didn't feature, but he was a character in a lot of them.
All right. Would you rather wield a double-bladed saber or dual sabers?
Double-bladed.
All right. Who's cooler, Han Solo or Lando Calrissian? All right, hidden question.
Who's cooler? Man, really depends on which Lando you're talking about. If you're talking about Billy D. Williams, then Han Solo is cooler. If you're talking about Gambino in the movie Solo, come on. Perfect Lando. If they don't make a Lando movie or Lando series with that guy.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith when he played in there. I loved it. He's a good actor.
Oh, so good.
All right. That's the end of the questions. I got one more quick tournament of Star Wars characters.
Oh my God, man.
Darth Vader versus Lando.
Lando.
All right. And Chewbacca versus C-3PO.
Chewbacca.
All right. Han Solo versus BB-8.
Han Solo.
All right. Yoda versus Baby Yoda or
the child.
Yeah, Gorogo.
Grogu.
Yeah. Yes.
Yoda.
All right. And Luke Skywalker versus Mace Windu.
Come on. That's not fair.
Oh, wow. All right. R2D2 versus Mando Din Djarin.
The Mandalorian. And R2D2? Mandalorian.
All right. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
All right. Princess Leia versus Boba Fett.
Princess Leia. Come on. Return of the Jedi bikini scene.
All right. Lando versus Chewbacca.
That's tough. Donald Glover Lando.
Han Solo and Yoda. right. Mace versus Mondo. All right. Darth Maul versus Princess.
Ooh, Princess Leia.
All right.
You're pulling on a lot of different emotions here with all this shit.
Lando versus Solo. All right. And Mace versus Leia.
Leia.
All right. Final. Lando versus Leia.
I know. And you have the perfect couple, Donald Glover Lando with a young Carrie Fisher. Come on. I'm going to go with Leia just because.
All right.
And I consider that one a tie as well.
I need to put you in touch with this. I interviewed another guy. His name is William Tashina, Smoking Willie T. He loves Star Wars too. He got the life-size R2D2 and got the suitcase, the R2D2, and I was like,
I'm looking around my office here. I got a bunch of stuff, dude. Too much stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right, we made it to the end of the interview. If you got anything to promote, shout outs and stuff, you can do that also.
Okay, yeah. You can find us at oldvirginiasmoke.com. There's another website out there that's not heavily publicized yet, Luke Darnell, BBQ.com. YouTube channel, Old Virginia Smoke. Instagram, Old Virginia Smoke. Twitter is Luke Darnell. I don't get on there much. And, man, all the partners that help us, Snake River Farms, Blues Hog, Compard Duroc, Barbecue Data. I know I'm missing some. Big Papa Smokers, Gateway Drums. All these people really help us out so much with everything that we do, and couldn't do it without them. And it's partnerships. It's not sponsorships. You got to work together. You got to help promote and do those things. So hopefully we have a lot of exciting stuff coming out this fall. I got some new business initiatives coming out, maybe some products, hopefully. And we'll see. Maybe we can do this again in the spring and catch up on all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and get that class together. I'm serious.
We can do that.
All right. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll see everybody next episode. We just wrapped up another session of BBQ Therapy. Remember, stay patient, stay passionate, and keep that fire burning. Hit subscribe, share the good smoke, and pay the secretary on your way out. Have a blessed day.